The story's focus on unexpected heroism immediately draws attention to the extraordinary circumstances that can reveal hidden courage in ordinary people. The medic, typically seen as a support figure in military operations, is placed in a situation that pushes her beyond the boundaries of her expected role. In the chaos of combat, where every second can mean life or death, she is confronted with a situation that demands action, decision-making, and precision, skills often reserved for trained combat personnel. This shift from healer to active combatant underscores the unpredictability of war and the capacity for ordinary individuals to rise to challenges that seem impossible. Her transformation is not just physical but psychological. It requires overcoming fear, self-doubt, and ingrained perceptions of her own limitations. The moment the SEAL commander passes her the Barrett.50, the weight of responsibility lands squarely on her shoulders, symbolizing a test of her courage and adaptability. This act also serves as a narrative catalyst, forcing the medic into a situation where her decisions directly influence the outcome of the mission and potentially the survival of those around her. The title emphasizes the dramatic contrast between her role before and after this pivotal moment. She was just the medic, a phrase that conveys modesty, support, and a lack of combat expectation. This framing creates a sense of surprise and admiration when she rises to the occasion, highlighting how heroism can emerge from the most unlikely individuals. The narrative implicitly challenges stereotypes about capability and roles in high-pressure environments, suggesting that courage is not limited to those formally trained for combat, but can emerge from those who are willing to act decisively when circumstances demand it. The story's tension builds on this unexpected role reversal, creating suspense as readers anticipate whether she can meet the demands of wielding such a powerful weapon and whether she will be able to execute her role effectively in the chaos of battle. Her heroism is further amplified by the context of the military setting, where stakes are not abstract but immediate and severe. Every decision carries consequences that affect not only her safety, but the lives of her team and the success of the mission. This immediacy heightens the drama of her transformation, showing that heroism is often born not from intention alone, but from necessity. The narrative celebrates traits such as bravery, quick thinking, and composure under pressure, illustrating how true courage manifests in moments of intense challenge. By highlighting her unexpected heroism, the story conveys a powerful message about the latent potential within individuals, the resilience of the human spirit, and the capacity to rise above preconceived roles and expectations when faced with life-altering situations. Her journey from a perceived non-combatant to a decisive actor serves as a reminder that heroism is not always glamorous or anticipated. It often emerges in the most unexpected ways. The story celebrates this unpredictability, showing that courage is situational, accessible to anyone willing to act, and capable of redefining how others perceive them. It is this unexpected heroism, the rise from support to action, that anchors the narrative and gives the title its compelling, transformative energy. The element of high-stakes military action in the story immediately establishes an intense, gripping backdrop that shapes the narrative and the characters' experiences. By incorporating a Barrett.50 sniper rifle and referencing a SEAL commander, the title signals that the story operates within a realm of elite military operations, where precision, strategy, and lethal skill define success or failure. In this environment, every decision carries immediate, tangible consequences, and the presence of advanced weaponry emphasizes the severity of the situation. The medic's introduction into this context, especially as she is handed such a powerful weapon, underscores the gravity of the stakes. She is not merely participating in a simulation or minor skirmish. She is being thrust into a real life or death scenario where failure is not an option. This amplifies tension and positions the narrative firmly within the military action genre, appealing to readers who seek adrenaline-fueled, tactical storytelling. High-stakes action in a SEAL or special operations setting is characterized by meticulous planning, split-second decision-making, and extraordinary risk. The story likely explores these facets through dynamic sequences where timing, accuracy, and composure determine the outcome. Every move the medic makes with the Barrett.50 carries profound implications, not just for her survival but for the broader mission and the team she supports. The narrative tension is heightened by the juxtaposition of her role as a medic, a figure traditionally focused on preservation and healing, against the lethal demands of wielding one of the most powerful sniper rifles in the world. This duality amplifies suspense as readers are drawn into the high-pressure scenario, anticipating how someone unaccustomed to combat will perform under such extreme conditions. The narrative thrives on this uncertainty, keeping the audience engaged and emotionally invested. The military action element also allows for vivid, cinematic depictions of combat and tactical maneuvers. The story can delve into the intricacies of elite operations, highlighting how SEAL teams operate with precision, coordination, and unwavering focus. From stealthy approaches and recon operations to the coordination of fire and cover, each aspect of military action adds layers of realism and intensity. The presence of a medic transitioning into combat action adds a unique perspective, offering readers a lens that is both humanizing and thrilling. It shows the visceral experience of war from a viewpoint that balances vulnerability with emerging competence, illustrating how high-stakes scenarios can catalyze extraordinary personal growth. Additionally, the high-stakes military action reinforces themes of responsibility and consequence. The medic is entrusted with a weapon capable of extreme destruction, and the narrative tension arises from her need to act responsibly while under pressure. This scenario emphasizes the lethal seriousness of modern warfare and the human factors that influence outcomes. By immersing readers in this environment, the story captures both the tactical precision of elite forces and the emotional intensity of facing life or death choices, making the military action not just a backdrop, but a driving force that shapes character development and narrative momentum. Ultimately, the high-stakes military action in the story combines technical expertise, strategic thinking, and emotional resilience, creating a narrative that is both thrilling and compelling. It highlights the unpredictable nature of combat and the extraordinary demands placed on individuals, especially those thrust unexpectedly into critical roles, ensuring that the story resonates with readers seeking intense, action-driven experiences set in realistic military contexts. The theme of mentorship and trust plays a central role in the story, providing emotional depth and complexity that complements the intense military action. The moment the CL commander passes his Barrett.50 rifle to the medic is more than a practical handover. It is a profound gesture of confidence, respect, and belief in her latent abilities. In high-pressure environments like special operations, trust is not given lightly. It is earned through observation, performance, and shared experiences. By choosing to hand over his weapon to someone typically perceived as a support figure, the commander acknowledges her potential, recognizing qualities such as composure, intelligence, and courage that might otherwise go unnoticed. This act transforms the dynamic between them, establishing a bond that is built on mutual reliance and the understanding that in life, or death situations, each team member's contributions are vital. Mentorship in this context goes beyond simple instruction or guidance. It encompasses empowerment, risk sharing, and the willingness to expose another to challenges that test their limits. The commander's gesture implicitly communicates, "I believe in you, you are capable of this," which can have a transformative impact on the medic's confidence and self-perception. In high-stakes operations, the psychological element of trust is as critical as technical skill. Knowing that a seasoned operator entrusts you with a weapon of immense power fosters a sense of responsibility, urgency, and motivation to rise to the occasion. It also mirrors real-life military dynamics, where leadership is often demonstrated not only through orders, but through the cultivation of confidence and capability within the team. The trust placed in the medic is also a narrative tool that heightens tension and stakes. Readers understand that this is a pivotal moment. The success of the mission and potentially the survival of the team now partially depends on her. This adds layers of suspense, as the audience witnesses the evolution of a character from someone underestimated to someone trusted with extraordinary responsibility. It underscores the notion that mentorship and trust are catalysts for growth, providing opportunities for characters to reveal hidden strengths and redefine their roles. The act of passing the weapon is symbolic. It represents a transfer of authority, recognition of competence, and belief in the recipient's judgment under pressure. Furthermore, this theme explores the human side of elite military operations. While tactics, weapons, and training are critical, the interpersonal dynamics between team members are equally crucial. Trust, mentorship, and mutual reliance create cohesion, enabling units to function effectively under extreme stress. The story emphasizes that heroism and effectiveness are not only about individual skill, but also about the relationships and confidence that bind a team together. The SEAL commander's action highlights the balance of leadership and vulnerability, showing that true leaders empower others and foster trust rather than simply dominate or control. Ultimately, mentorship and trust enrich the narrative by blending emotional resonance with the tactical intensity of military action. The medic's receipt of the Barrett.50 signifies more than a weapon handover. It represents validation, belief, and the transformative power of trust. Through this lens, the story examines how guidance, confidence, and the willingness to take risks on others can unlock hidden potential, forge strong bonds, and elevate ordinary individuals into extraordinary roles under extreme circumstances. The theme of an underdog or transformation arc is central to the story, serving as a driving force that captivates readers and provides a deep emotional resonance. The phrase, "She was just the medic," immediately positions the character as someone underestimated, someone who exists in a supportive background role rather than in the spotlight of action. This framing creates a powerful contrast when she is thrust into a combat scenario and handed a weapon as formidable as a Barrett.50. Her journey from a perceived secondary role to a decisive action-oriented figure embodies the classic underdog narrative, tapping into a universal appeal, the desire to witness ordinary individuals rise to extraordinary challenges. It is a story about potential revealed under pressure, about courage that emerges in the most unexpected circumstances. The transformation arc is both external and internal. Externally, the medic moves from being a healer and caretaker to someone engaged directly in combat, taking on a responsibility that is physically demanding and strategically crucial. This shift is visually and dramatically compelling, as readers can imagine her adapting to new tasks, handling sophisticated weaponry, and making split-second decisions that affect the survival of her team. Internally, the transformation is even more profound. She must confront self-doubt, fear, and ingrained perceptions of her role, learning to trust her instincts, judgment, and abilities. This psychological evolution adds depth to her character, demonstrating that growth often occurs when individuals are pushed beyond their comfort zones. The narrative suggests that heroism is not innate, but cultivated through experience, pressure, and the willingness to step into unfamiliar roles. The underdog arc also heightens tension and engagement within the story. Readers are naturally drawn to characters who face overwhelming odds, and the medic's journey provides continuous suspense. Will she succeed under conditions that would challenge even the most trained operators? This narrative strategy creates a sense of anticipation and emotional investment, as audiences root for her to overcome both the external dangers of combat and the internal obstacles of fear and self-doubt. The story leverages this arc to balance action with personal growth, ensuring that the excitement of military operations is intertwined with a meaningful character journey. Moreover, the transformation arc carries broader thematic significance. It challenges societal and organizational assumptions about roles, capability, and potential. By demonstrating that someone initially categorized as just a medic can rise to perform extraordinary feats, the story emphasizes that talent, courage, and adaptability can emerge from unexpected places. It also reinforces the idea that true leadership and effectiveness often recognize potential beyond traditional hierarchies or expectations, celebrating resourcefulness, resilience, and initiative. Ultimately, the underdog and transformation elements of the story create a compelling narrative that blends action, suspense, and emotional resonance. The medic's journey from a supportive role to a decisive actor highlights the power of circumstance to reveal hidden strengths, the importance of self, belief in overcoming challenges, and the enduring appeal of stories where ordinary individuals rise to extraordinary occasions. Through this lens, the narrative not only entertains but inspires, illustrating that courage and capability can emerge when it is least expected, reshaping both character and reader perceptions of possibility. The story's adrenaline-driven narrative is one of its most compelling elements, creating an immersive, high-energy experience that keeps readers engaged from start to finish. The inclusion of a CL commander, elite weaponry like the Barrett.50, and the unexpected involvement of a medic in direct combat immediately establishes a fast-paced, high-stakes environment. Adrenaline is not merely a background feature here. It drives the plot, influences character behavior, and heightens emotional intensity. Each decision, each movement, and each interaction occurs under pressure, emphasizing the immediacy of danger and the constant tension inherent in elite military operations. The reader experiences the intensity alongside the characters, feeling the pulse of life or death choices and the weight of responsibility that comes with handling deadly weapons in critical scenarios. The adrenaline-fueled nature of the story also amplifies suspense. The narrative constantly poses questions. Will the medic succeed in her unanticipated role? Can she handle the Barrett.50 effectively under extreme conditions? Will the team survive the mission? These uncertainties keep the audience on edge, creating a sense of urgency and anticipation. By placing the character in high-pressure, fast-moving situations, the story ensures that every action matters, every moment counts, and the stakes feel real and tangible. This immediacy encourages readers to become emotionally invested, rooting for the protagonist and experiencing her triumphs and setbacks in real time. Adrenaline also affects character development, particularly for the medic. High-intensity situations accelerate growth, forcing her to adapt, improvise, and make critical decisions she might never have encountered in a non-combat role. The constant pressure tests her courage, resilience, and mental acuity, revealing hidden depths of capability and determination. Her transformation is intertwined with the adrenaline of the situation. Without these extreme circumstances, her evolution from a support role to a decisive combatant might not be as compelling or believable. The narrative demonstrates how extraordinary circumstances can catalyze personal growth, pushing ordinary individuals to discover extraordinary potential within themselves. The action sequences themselves are designed to be visceral and cinematic, leveraging the adrenaline theme to create a vivid, immersive reading experience. Detailed descriptions of tactical maneuvers, precision shooting, and split-second decision-making place readers at the center of the battlefield. The story likely emphasizes sensory experiences, the sound of gunfire, the weight of the rifle, the rush of moving under fire, and the tension of critical moments, to amplify the thrill. This combination of physical and psychological intensity reinforces the narrative's momentum, keeping readers continuously engaged while showcasing the high-stakes nature of elite military operations. Ultimately, the adrenaline-driven narrative is what transforms the story from a simple military scenario into a gripping, emotionally resonant thriller. It balances fast-paced action with character growth, suspense with strategic decision-making, and danger with heroism. By immersing readers in high-stakes situations where every moment is critical, the story creates a powerful connection between audience and protagonist, ensuring that the excitement, tension, and triumphs of the medic's journey are felt as deeply as they are witnessed. This dynamic energy is central to the appeal of the narrative, making it an unforgettable and intense reading experience that resonates long after the final scene.